Doom: The Dark Ages, 2025, a detailed review. Doom: The Dark Ages is an exciting prequel to the iconic Doom franchise, a series that has defined the first-person shooter, FPS, genre since its debut in 1993. Developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda, the game is set to offer players a completely different experience from its predecessors. Instead of the fast-paced, acrobatic combat of Doom Eternal, Doom: The Dark Ages slows things down for a more grounded, strategic gameplay experience. In this review, we'll dive deep into the key features of Doom: The Dark Ages to explore what makes it stand apart from other entries in the series. Setting and story: Doom: The Dark Ages takes place in an alternate medieval era, blending the brutal combat mechanics of Doom with a fantasy-inspired world. The game serves as a prequel to Doom 2016, providing new lore and setting the stage for the hellish wars that would come to define the series. The premise centers around a medieval war against Hell, where the protagonist, presumably an early iteration of the Doom Slayer, must battle demonic forces attempting to invade the human realm. Unlike the high-tech, science fiction setting of previous games, this entry brings Hell's demonic forces into a medieval world full of castles, ancient weapons, and dark magic. The game's visual design emphasizes a dark, Gothic atmosphere that feels like an epic clash between ancient knights and demonic horrors. Think medieval weaponry combined with hellish, otherworldly creatures. The game is filled with dramatic environments such as crumbling fortresses, dark dungeons, and sprawling battlefields, giving players a sense of grandiosity and dread. Gameplay: A slower, more tactical approach in Doom: The Dark Ages, combat takes a noticeable turn from the lightning-fast, acrobatic action seen in Doom Eternal. The emphasis here is on powerful, tank-like combat, where players stand their ground rather than constantly moving and dodging. The gameplay motto is stand and shoot, as opposed to the traditional run-and-gun gameplay that Doom is known for. This gives the game a more methodical and strategic feel. The gameplay has been described as brutal but deliberate, with a slower pace compared to previous entries in the series. While players still get to utilize a wide array of guns, explosives, and melee weapons, the game encourages a more tactical approach to combat, requiring careful consideration of when to attack, defend, or retreat. One of the most unique features of this game is the combat flow. Unlike the previous Doom games that prioritized verticality and agility, Doom: The Dark Ages asks players to carefully manage their positioning in battle, standing firm while unleashing hell on enemies. Weapons and combat mechanics: The Doom Slayer in this prequel uses an array of medieval weapons enhanced by futuristic technology. One of the standout features is the shield weapon, which is not just a means of defense but an offensive tool in its own right. The shield can transform into a saw blade, allowing players to mow down enemies at close range. Additionally, the game introduces giant mechs and cybernetic dragons that serve as larger-than-life bosses. The inclusion of these heavy-duty mechanical and mythical elements adds a new layer of excitement to combat, especially when faced with massive, intimidating enemies. The game's primary weapons, such as a sword, crossbow, and medieval guns, are balanced with futuristic, high-powered rifles and energy-based weapons that players will recognize from earlier Doom games. While there is a reliance on brute strength, Doom: The Dark Ages rewards players who master the use of these weapons strategically. Players will also encounter demons with distinct new powers, which adds a layer of complexity to the gameplay. Hell Knights, Imps, and Cacodemons return, but they are designed with a medieval aesthetic, featuring armor and weaponry that reflect the time period. Unique features: a mech and cybernetic dragon in an unexpected twist. Doom: The Dark Ages introduces a giant mech, a mechanical titan that players can use to traverse difficult environments and engage in larger-than-life battles. This mech features powerful weapons and shields and adds a significant strategic layer to gameplay. The mechs also tie into the game's emphasis on tank-like combat as opposed to agile movement. In another unique addition, cybernetic dragons play a role in boss battles. These flying beasts have mechanical enhancements, offering players a dramatic battle experience. The dragons represent a blend of high fantasy and Doom's signature technological and hellish fusion, graphics and visuals. Doom: The Dark Ages embraces a gritty, medieval aesthetic that blends seamlessly with Doom's established hellish tones. The use of Unreal Engine 5 ensures that the game looks stunning, with detailed character models, atmospheric lighting, and destructible environments that enhance the feeling of a war-torn world. The Gothic architecture is paired with a dark, oppressive color palette of deep reds, blacks, and browns, making the visual experience both haunting and exhilarating. The hellish environments are also given a more medieval twist, featuring landscapes such as blackened castles, crumbling walls, and demonic shrines, all set against the backdrop of fiery hellscapes. The world design offers more variety compared to previous Doom titles while retaining the chaotic, Dark energy, music and sound dissonance with previous Doom games. Doom, The Dark Ages features an aggressive, high-energy soundtrack. The music, composed by Mick Gordon, leans into heavy metal riffs and industrial beats, but with a slightly more medieval touch to reflect the setting. The sound design plays a crucial role in enhancing the atmosphere, with roaring demons, the clashing of swords, and the deafening sounds of futuristic artillery combining to create an immersive and chaotic world. Release and expectations. Doom, The Dark Ages is set to release on May 15, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC. The game's inclusion on Xbox Game Pass also promises to make it widely accessible from day one. Conclusion. Doom, The Dark Ages is shaping up to be a thrilling evolution of the Doom franchise. By taking the series back to a more tactical, grounded approach, it offers a fresh experience while still retaining the series' core elements: brutal combat, hellish enemies, and an intense atmosphere. The medieval setting and the introduction of futuristic weaponry and mechs make it a standout in the Doom saga, and fans of the franchise can look forward to a unique adventure that's sure to satisfy their need for high-octane action and strategic gameplay. If you've been craving a slower, more methodical Doom experience, Doom, The Dark Ages will definitely scratch that itch while delivering the chaos and fun the series is known for. It's a must-play for longtime fans and newcomers alike, combining the best of medieval fantasy with the franchise's iconic, demon-slaying action.